Hi students, welcome back to Chakravarthy E Classroom. Today again we are going to do one more question from time and distance chapter. Consecutively for the last 3 sessions we have been discussing time and distance chapter only. Time and distance, did I say time and work? If I say that one, I'm sorry, time and distance actually. For the last 3 sessions we have been doing questions from this chapter only using fantastic shortcuts. Even this question also can be solved with the same type of shortcut. Alright, and by the way students, before starting this one, this question is taken from one of the previous exams only. I have not even changed the numbers also, so that you can feel the actual question. Alright, let's start the question here. First read the question properly, then try to do that question with your own method. First pause the video, try to do it by your own method and record the timing. Students, those students who are already in the practice, you please record the timing. The reasonable timing for this question is not more than 30 seconds. Yes, I mean it. Within 30 seconds, you must be able to do this question. Okay, right. Let's start this one. First, what is the question? Read that one properly. A and B started from X's home at 7 a.m. to Y's home, which is 42 kilometers away on a straight road with speeds of 5 and 7 kilometers respectively. I told you in the previous session, and for that matter I have been telling you the same thing. While reading the question, you try to identify the keywords, because keywords are going to change your analysis, isn't it? What are the keywords here? Very important words here are both started at 7 a.m. That means both started at the same time, isn't it? Let's reconstruct the scenario here. I'll just draw a diagram so that you can very easily understand that one. And for that matter students, the students who are in practice, who are doing good amount of practice, you need not draw any chart. This chart is only for the explanation purpose. Teacher is explaining you, only for the explanation purpose this chart is required. Okay, otherwise you have to frame the chart in your mind itself. What they have given, 2 points are there. X's home I am drawing here, and this is Y's home. The distance between these two they have given as 42 kilometers, as simple as this one. Two persons started here, person A and person B, with different speeds in the same direction. A is traveling with 5 kilometers per hour and B with 7 kilometers per hour. This is what exactly they have given, and both started at the same time, that is 7 a.m. Both started at the same time. Now the next sentence what they are giving, B reached Y and returned immediately on the same road and met A at point R. Then what is the distance between X and R? Obviously students, when they started at the same time, two persons are having different speeds. Obviously the person who is moving little what do you call this one, faster than the other person would move forward when compared to the other person, right? The same thing happened here. B with 7 kilometers per hour first reached Y, but he has not stopped there. According to the problem, B returned immediately and met A. This is B. After reaching Y, returned immediately, and this is A still coming on this way. Both met at a point. They have given this point as R. Both met at R. Now the question is, what is the distance between X and R is the question. How simply you can solve this question students, if you know the basics of time, distance and speed. The relationship among these three, as I have told you in the previous two sessions, I have given the link of those 2 sessions in the description box. You compulsory, what is my request, you compulsory go through those 2 links and try to watch both the videos, so that that's going to be really helpful for you while solving this question. Okay, now you see, if you want to go by algebra, from here to here you have to take X and you have to frame one equation, equalize that and find out X. It takes ample of time in the examination. No need to go like this. Simply use the shortcut. The shortcut should be framed like this. By the way students, you have to develop your own shortcuts with your basics. Don't bring the shortcut from the air. Okay, now here what's the relationship among speed, distance and time, right? Just observe here carefully students. Both started at 7 a.m. that means both started at the same time and both met here at the same time. What's the conclusion from that one? I repeat this one. Both started at 7 a.m. and both met at point R at the same time. What's the meaning of that one? The very meaning is that both traveled for the same time. If A traveled for 2 hours, even B also traveled for the 2 hours. But here B covered more distance because B's speed is more than that of A's. You got the idea? Now here, according to this description, the time is constant here. Time is same for both the objects there, both the persons there. You know the shortcut now. When time is constant, you know the relationship between speed and distance. I'm going to use that shortcut. When time is constant, what's the relationship between speed and distance? Obviously, speed is directly proportional to distance. Simple, right? If distance is constant, what's the relationship between time and speed? Speed is inversely proportional to time. In the first session, we have learned this one. In the previous session, last session, we have learned this shortcut. And in this session, I am going to apply the same shortcut here because both the scenarios are same. In both the cases, time is constant. Isn't it? I am using the shortcut directly here. I am not touching any algebra. As far as this question is concerned, the speeds of A and B. What's the ratio between A and B here? As far as speed is concerned, this is 5:7. When time is constant, automatically I must conclude that even the distance ratio of A and B also 5:7. That's enough. Almost 75% of the question is over now. How can you interpret this one here? Very, very simple. This ratio 5:7 means in the total scenario, if A traveled for 5 kilometers, subsequently B traveled for 7. In the other way, I'll tell you, if the total distance is 7 plus 5, 12 kilometers, out of these 12 kilometers, 5 kilometers are covered by A and subsequently 7 are covered by B here. That's the very meaning of that one, isn't it? Now, I'm going to frame the unitary method, our favorite method. What's the unitary method, students? First, I started with the imaginary numbers here. Now I want to compare this imaginary numbers with that of the actual numbers given in the question. That is the beauty of unitary method. Here in the question they have given that the distance between x and y is 42 kilometers. You need to match these two while framing the unitary equation. Here students, most of the students on that year did, what do you call this one blunder in the examination. What's that one? Simply they frame the unitary method like this. Here total is 12. They did the question like this. This 12 can be equalized to 42. 12 parts is equal to 42. Then 5 parts is how much? What's the background of this one? 5 parts is how much? Because the question is what is the distance between x and r? X and r means the total distance traveled by A from x to r. Total distance traveled by A is nothing but your answer in this question, isn't it? Because the scenario says that A, B both started here. A traveled in this way. By the time A reached this point, B from X to Y, B reached Y, immediately returned and met A at point R. Now, what is the distance between X and R means? That is nothing but the total distance traveled by A here, isn't it? For that reason, students, what students have done on the particular year, this 12 is equal to 42, then 5 is how much? But think it carefully, students. Of course, the logic is correct here, but finally this is the wrong answer, isn't it? Why that is wrong answer here? Of course, the logic is correct because unitary method means this is the imaginary figure. Imaginary figure must be equalized to the actual one here, isn't it? But here, actual distance is not 42. Actual distance means total distance traveled by A and B is not 42 in this case. That is 84, isn't it? Here, total distance. Here, what is the ratio here? Distance ratio of A and B is 5:7. That means if the total distance is 12, 5 parts A and 7 parts B. Here, total distance is not 42. This is 84 is the total distance. Why that is so? Just observe this one carefully. Both A and B started there. Let us take B first. B covered from here to here, again from here to here, came back from here to here. That means B traveled these 42 kilometers plus this distance. Whereas A traveled from here to here. That means B's distance from here to here and again here to R plus A's distance is equal to 42 plus 42 total 84 kilometers, isn't it? Now frame the right unitary equation here. If the total distance traveled by A and B together is 12, then A's distance is 5. This is what exactly I need to find out here. Now here total distance is 12. This must be equalized to 84. Actually that is 42 plus 42. If 12 is equal to 84, 5 parts is equal to how much? This how much is your answer? Simple. 5 parts how much means directly you do 12 into 7 times, then 5 into 7 times. My answer is 35 kilometers is the right answer. As simple as this one. I hope it is clear for all of you. I just explained in a quicker way so that like you must understand the logic properly, because this is the third consecutive session where we are using the same type of shortcut. That's the reason why I just went a little quick. I hope this is understandable and you can understand this one very easier way. Thank you very much students, and my request is to for you is you please try to viral this video so that other students may be benefited, and at the same time we are going to be motivated. Thank you so much students.